Went and got my Philippine driver's license the other day, about a week ago, I guess. You can drive in the Philippines up to 90 days on your home country's license. After that, you have to get a Philippine driver's license. The whole ordeal took me that day about 11 hours. My helper Jean went with me. I'm lucky she did because a lot of things were spoken of Visayan, and it would have been really hard to navigate through without her. So we went to the LTO early that morning, about 8:30. There were probably 300 people already waiting, and she was able to get up to the information desk and ask the man what I needed before we were waiting in line. And he said that I needed my passport, my driver's license from my issuing origin, my ACR card or my alien certificate of registration for those of you who are not here yet, and copies of these things along with my visa stamp. When he asked to see my visa stamp, he said I had to have at least a 6-month stamp. I told him they'll only give me a stamp for 2 months at a time, and he said to get that done and come back and he'll approve me. So we got in a taxi and drove across the city to immigration and waited a while there, and I got my 60-day stamp. And when we got back to the LTO, the clerk was at lunch, so we took that opportunity and grabbed some street food. The clerk came back. I presented my information. He gave me a form to fill out with my name, my address, my height, my weight, hair color, etc. It also asked if I could drive an automatic, a standard, what I've driven before, and he said get in line. And the line, there's probably 150, 200 people, and it does move quickly. But it's like nothing I'd ever experienced before. It was a series of seats, and the seats, it was a row of chairs, and you move from chair to chair to chair, row to row, until you got to the front where it was your turn. So when it was my turn, I went to the clerk, and he again looked at my information, checked off my endorsements matching my license from Indiana. Then I was told to go get a physical in the back. There's a standalone building in the back. It was for physicals. And I paid the lady 450 pesos or $8.15 to get the most complete physical I've ever had in my life. No, I'm just kidding. It was just a simple blood pressure check, and they said, I was sitting in a chair and they said, read the eye chart over there, line 8. Didn't ask me to cover one eye or the other. They said read line 8. I said I'll read line 10 if you want me to, since both eyes are open. So I read line 8, and they whisked me out the door with a form saying I passed. From there, I went across the facility to the other side to window 1, where there were 100 more people waiting, and turned in all my paperwork. And I was given a number. But this time it was about 1 p.m. and I thought I was almost done. Little did I know. After a while, I had my number called. I went to window 3 to pay the cashier, and I paid them 785 pesos or $14.21. So now I'm in this thing for 1,235 pesos or $22.35. Now I understand why, when I've been out in the province a few times, why there's so many people without their license. 1,200 pesos, it's a lot of money here. It's like 3 days wages, or more in some areas. So I sat back down and I waited some more. By this time I'm getting really good at waiting, but I'm not complaining. This is their country. I'll go with the flow. I was then called to window 4 for my signature, my photo, and then to window 5 for fingerprints, and shortly after issued my license. By this time it was 7:30 that evening, and it was during Holy Week, so they were staying open. That they announced till 10 p.m. to accommodate everyone. Usually they close at 5 p.m. So that was my experience of getting a license in Davao City and that was in Echo Land, the one across from SN Mall. If you like this video, please subscribe, hit the like button. Until next time, have a good one and be safe.